Hi all. In this platform, I am trying to help you in chemistry. I'm starting with plus one chemistry, chapter one. Okay, in chapter one is mainly focusing on the basic concepts of chemistry, such as what are atoms, what are molecules, how we can calculate mass numbers of atoms and molecules, what is atomic number, what is average mass, etc. The basic concepts related to chemistry. And the chapter starts with an introduction part in which it discusses the development of chemistry, how chemistry is developed as a branch of science. Okay, it starts with a quote by Roald Hoffman, that is, chemistry is the science of molecules and their transformation. It is the science not so much of the 100 elements but of the infinite variety of molecules that may be built from them. Okay, so according to him, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the science of molecules and their transformations. It is the science of molecules and how they are transformed into different substances. And he said that it is not the mere study of elements which we are seen in the periodic table. Okay, it deals with the different types of molecules formed by the elements and the properties of those molecules, how the molecules combines each other. So it is a vast subject. Okay, now what is science? Science means a branch which requires a lot of observations, a lot of experiments. Okay, and then after all these experiments and observations and experiments, we are deriving or we are getting an inference or a result, and from that result, we will conclude something, some phenomena, some properties, etc. So it is a systematic knowledge. Systematic knowledge means that knowledge is acquired from a lot of activities. We have to observe it, we have to study it, we have to experiment it. After all this, we are concluding and concluding a fact. Such a study is known as science. So, science can be viewed as a continuing human effort to systemize knowledge. We have to systemize the knowledge acquired. Okay, for describing and understanding nature. All the phenomena, all the processes that are occurring in our nature can be clearly described by the branch science. Okay, science is subdivided into a lot of disciplines. It includes chemistry, physics, biology, geology, etc. So these are the branches of science. Okay, for the convenience of study, we divide the science into a number of branches. The main branches includes chemistry, physics, biology, geology, etc. Then again, all these branches are subdivided into further branches. For example, in chemistry, you can find physical chemistry, uh, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry. Okay, like physics also divided into a number of branches such as thermodynamics, astrophysics, etc. Okay, in biology you can find clearly two divisions known as zoology and botany. So all these branches are further divided to study conveniently. Okay, The branch of science that studies the preparation, properties, structure, and reactions of material substance is called chemistry. So, what is chemistry? It is a branch of science. It is a branch of science. We already said that science is subdivided into various branches. One of the branches is chemistry. In chemistry, we are studying the reactions, or we are focusing on chemical reactions or chemical changes. So in nature, if we observe, we can find two types of changes. Okay, one is physical change, and the second one is chemical change. You're aware of these two types of changes. There are two types of changes known as physical changes and chemical changes. So in physical change, the shape and size of the object can be changed. For example, from wood we can make furnitures. So the wood remains same, the properties of wood remains same, but the shape will become to a table, or to that of a chair, or to that of a desk. Okay, or we can make some potteries, or some other substances out of wood. Okay, so it is a physical change. The shape and size of the object is changing. What about chemical change? The properties will be changed. The properties will be changed. The most popular example, or when you are studying chemical change, you study with the change of milk to curd. We cannot make milk from curd again. So it is a chemical change. It is a permanent change. It is a permanent change. We cannot reverse the process. We cannot get the uh, milk out of curd. Okay, such changes are known as chemical change. According to these two types of changes, we can say two types of reactions are there: physical and chemical. So in chemical reaction, the properties of the object is changed. In chemical reaction, the properties of the object is changed. Properties of substance is changed. Okay, so these types of reactions are coming under the branch chemistry. So the branch of science that studies the preparation, properties, structure, and reactions of material substance is called chemistry. Okay, now how chemistry is developed into a branch. Chemistry is a very old discipline, very old branch of uh, science. Okay, so chemistry is not studied or researched as its branch name, chemistry. The name comes later. Okay, first there are two uh, interesting searches among the ancient people. Okay, one is philosopher's stone. Philosopher's stone. What is philosopher's stone? They believed that some stone can convert some metals. For example, iron and copper can be converted into gold. They believed they believed that this can be possible. Okay, so they began to search upon this. Then the another one is elixir of life, which would grant immortality. So you may heard of amrit. Some substance is there. If it is consumed, we will not die. We It will grant immortality. So they are trying to find these type of substances, and it was quite interesting they are they are searching upon these types of experiments. Okay. So chemistry developed mainly in the form of alchemy and electrochemistry during CE 1300 to 1600. It was ancient chemistry. Okay. The modern chemistry took shape in 18th century, mainly in Europe. Before that, some cultures, mainly in China and India, they have their own chemical traditions, alchemical traditions, and they include much knowledge in chemical processes and techniques. So, what are the chemical areas people covered in the early ages? So, we are going to check some facts about these ancient chemical processes. Okay, chemical observations and researches. Mainly in India, there are a number of people who mainly research all these type of chemical processes and the chemical reactions which are occurring in nature. Okay, some researchers were in the field of metallurgy, some were in the field of medical science, some were in the field of daily life, daily activities. Okay, all these fields include some chemical reactions. In ancient India, the branch chemistry was called Rasayan Shastra. Rasayan Shastra. Okay, or it is termed as Ras Kriya, Ras Tantra, or Ras Vidya. So these are the terms that people use to describe the branch of chemistry. The science Shastra, Ras Kriya, Ras Vidya, Ras Tantra, etc. And these branches, these old branches, they include mainly metallurgy, medicine, manufacture of cosmetics, glass, dyes, etc. So they are they have they have knowledge in these fields. Okay, metallurgy, medicine, manufacture of cosmetics, glass, dyes. You know that these are the main branches of researchers. Okay, these are the facts you have to study. You will be able to answer it when there is some objective types of questions or fill in the blanks type questions. Okay, it may be asked for even entrance examinations because these are the facts. Okay, copper metallurgy in India dates back to the beginning of Chalcolithic cultures in the subcontinent. So metallurgy means we have to we have to extract metals from the ores. In those days, in the Chalcolithic cultures itself, the technique to extract copper from its ores are evident in India. Okay, there are much archaeological evidence to support the view that technologies of extraction of copper and iron were developed indigenously. So, in history, you may studied the different ages. In the Chacolic age, the copper, iron, they are the metals used in the field of potteries and in making of different types of devices. Okay, so they are extracted from their respective odes in the beginning of Chakolithic cultures itself in India. Okay, you may be aware of the different Vedas, and in Rig Veda, tanning of leather and dyeing of cotton are practiced. From Rig Veda, we can understand in 1000 to 400 BCE, in that age, tanning of leather and dyeing of cotton. Dyeing of cotton means we are coloring cotton. So they are practiced in the time of Rig Veda itself. Okay, and another important person is Kautilya. So in his book Arthashastra, he describes the production of salt from sea. How can we uh, take salt from seawater? It was described by Kautilya's Arthashastra. Okay. So these are in long ancient days. So all these are evident from the different textbooks and different granthas written by the ancient people. Okay, so these are the main activities or main processes which we are going to study in the branch of chemistry. Another person is Shushruta, and in his book Shushruta Samhita, he explained the importance of alkalis. Alkalis means it is an organic substance, organic chemistry. In the field of organic chemistry, we will study what are uh, alkalis. Okay, so in the age of Sushruta himself itself, we are studying these type of chemical compounds. In Charaka Samhita, the Charaka Samhita mentions ancient Indians who knew how to prepare sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and oxides of copper, tin, and zinc. Okay, the sulfates of copper, zinc, and iron, and the carbonates of lead and iron. So we are studying all these reactions in terms of names itself. All these are practiced in the time of Charaka. Okay. Next one is Rasopanishada. It describes the preparation of gunpowder mixture. Okay. Tamil texts also describe the preparation of fireworks using sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. Potassium nitrate. Saltpeter means potassium nitrate. Mercury, camphor, etc. These substances can be used to make the powder in which we are using in fireworks. So these knowledges are described in the Tamil old Tamil texts. The next important scientist was Nagarjuna. He was a great Indian scientist, and he was a reputed chemist and alchemist and a metallurgist. And his book was Ras Rasaratnagar. Okay, and it deals with the formation of mercury compounds. So you may be asked who wrote Rasaratnagar, or which was the book written by Nagarjuna. Okay, so these are the facts. Nagarjuna writes Rasaratnagar, and it deals with the formation of mercury compounds. It deals with the formation of mercury compounds. He is an alchemist. So his age was uh, he is in the first phase of chemistry. Okay. Next one is Chakravani, and he discovered mercury sulfide. Chakravani discovered mercury sulfide, and the credit for inventing soap also goes to him. So Chakravani discovered two things. One is mercury sulfide, and he invented soap. Okay. Next is an important person, Varahamihir, and his book is Brihat Samhita. It is a sort of encyclopedia. It covers a lot of knowledge, and it informs about the preparation of glutinous material to be appeared on walls and roofs of houses and temples. So the informations about glutinous materials are given by Varahamihira in his book Brihat Samhita. Okay, and again there are a number of classical texts like Atharva Veda, and in Atharva Veda it mentions some dye stuff, the material used for turmeric, madder, sunflower, orpiment, cochineal, and lac. From these substances, they are making dye. Okay, it was described in Atharva Veda. Okay, again in Varahamihir's Brihat Samhita, it gives references to the perfumes and cosmetics. They used some perfumes and cosmetics. Okay, next book was Gandhayukli, and in that some recipes for making scents, mouth perfumes, bath powders, incense, and talcum powder was given. Okay, and then in Vedas and Kaudilya's Arthashastra, they mentioned some type of liquors, and Charaka Samhita also mentions ingredients such as bark of plants, stem, flowers, leaves, woods, cereals, fruits, and sugarcane for making asavas. Okay, so in Vedas and Kautilya's Arthashastra, they are mentioning the preparation of some liquors and asavas. Okay, so these are the main contributions of ancient scholars in the field of chemistry. Then, more connected to our branch, the Acharya Kanta. Okay, Acharya Kanta, and his original name was he was originally known as Kashyap. He was the first proponent of atomic theory, and whose theory is atomic theory? You know that it was postulated by John Dalton, the modern atomic theory, and the atomic theory what you are studying today was postulated by uh, the well-known scientist John Dalton. But before long years, that is in 600 BCE, Kashyap explained what are atoms in terms of paramanus. Paramanus. Okay, he said that every object or every substance is aggregated from smaller units which are called which he called paramanus, and they are comparable to atoms, which was described by John Dalton. So the first proponent of atomic theory is Acharya Kanda or Kashyap. Okay, he formulated the theory of very small indivisible particles, and he termed them as theory of very small indivisible particles, and he named them Paramanu. Okay, Paramanu. Anu means Kana. Paramanu. So it is the smallest particle which cannot be further divided. Which cannot be further divided. He authored the text Vaisheshika Sutras. Okay, his text was Vaisheshika Sutras. In that text, according to him, all substances are aggregated form of smaller units called atoms. He did not coin the term atom. He said all the substances are aggregated form of smaller units called paramanus, which are eternal, indestructible, spherical, supersensible, and in motion in the original state. And when we are comparing it with the modern uh, theories and formulas, explanations in the field of atoms and molecules, you can find all these terms. They are indestructible, they are spherical, okay, they are in motion, they are indivisible. Okay, he explained that this individual entity cannot be sensed through any human organ. We cannot sense through with the help of any human organs. Kanda added that there are varieties of atoms that are as different as different classes of substances. He said this Paramanu could form pairs of triplets among other combinations and unseen forces cause interaction between them. So all these are explained by Kanda. So what is the meaning of there are varieties of atoms that are as different as the different classes of substances? Means we can find a number of atoms in our nature. Okay, and he said these atoms, these paramanus, could form pairs or triplets. So two atoms can combine together to form pairs. For example, two hydrogen atoms combine together to form H2, H plus H, H2. So H2 is the molecule. So in this, he is explaining the formation of molecules. In oxygen or in ozone, we can find a triplet O3. It's an unstable state, even though there can be formations of three atoms together to form a molecule, four atoms together to form a molecule. Okay, among other combinations, there can be the combinations can be between two types of atoms. For example, water, hydrogen and oxygen combines together to form water, and unseen forces cause interaction between them. There are some forces which helps to interact these elements together to form different types of molecules. So all these are the basic concepts of very basic concepts of chemistry, and all these are clearly defined in the ancient ages by Acharya Kanta. And after 2500 years, John Dalton describes it in the form of atomic theory. So 2500 years ago, our Acharya Kanda described all these in his book called Vaisheshika Sutras. Okay, so we have a rich history in the field of India have a rich history in the field of chemistry. The concept of reduction of particle size of metal is clearly discussed in Charaka Samhita. Okay, concept of reduction of particle size of metals. It was described in Charaka Samhita. Extreme reduction of particle size is termed as nanotechnology. This is the main branch of science, nanotechnology, and that was described in Charaka Samhita. Okay, modern science separated in in the later part of the 19th century. By the mid 19th century, European scientists started coming to India, and modern chemistry started growing. So after 19th century, India also uh, moved to the part of modern chemistry. Okay, so this is the this is how chemistry is developed, and the earlier histories, and how the ancient ages, the scholars of ancient age contributed in the field of science. Okay, next we have to study the basic concepts of chemistry. This is the introduction part of your first chapter, and in the next class, in the next video, we can cover the next topic. Okay, thank you.